Chazaku Baruch, you learn all day, but we still call him a tipesh and a hazir. Why is it hazir? Because he shows off how much he learns, but really he did not regurgitate, he did not absorb, he did not take it to heart, any of the midot that he learned, all the concepts that he learned. He was still ba'elim. He was still sitting in the elim, in the hiddenness. And that's what caused Hanishkachim ibnei ha'adam bateva. Because man thinks, okay, what do I have to do? I just have to learn, you said, right? I'm sitting and learning, what am I doing? And then he goes and he curses somebody. And then he goes and, God forbid, he steals something. Okay, it was only $2, it was $5, it was $6, it was 1 penny. What's the difference? He goes and he's not so meticulous in what he eats. It was kosher. I saw. Okay, no, what doesn't matter if it's a non-Jew cooked it or didn't cook it. Bishul akum. What's the difference? Okay. So when a person starts to dilly dally in the mitzvot, again, I heard again, this is not a thing for eating chalav Yisrael or not eating chalav Yisrael. That's each person, whatever his achmara wants to do. If he wants to be machmir, be machmir. If he doesn't feel he's on the standard to be machmir, don't be machmir. It's not a pia din. It's okay. There's many poskim that you can find that chalav stam is also said. Okay. Anyway, but it's brought in the Tanya. Again, this is a famous story that there was a guy who was having trouble with his emuna, and he went to the Balatanya, to the Admor Zaken, and Admor Zaken told him, the problem is the milk that you're drinking. He says, what's wrong with the milk that I'm drinking? It's kosher. He says, please go check your milk. I'm telling you something wrong with the milk. The man investigated the milk he used to buy from this guy, and it turned out it was from an Arab guy. And it turned out that actually the Arab guy was not milking a kosher animal. Rather, it was coming from a non-kosher animal. It was coming from a chazir. So, the Balatanya said that's why a person has to watch what he eats. Okay, so eating, again, we're using that as an example, but eating is similar to the way a person is regurgitating his food, to the way he digests his food, the way he digests his learning. So we said, Aval hato'eret yotze min ha'chazara alav behatmada. They'll be consistent. Ki yizkiru lo, because they will remind him. We call it a zecher. Zecher shares the same word as the word zachar, which is boy, right? Right. We know that a family's name is named after the boy, right? The boy keeps the family name, right? So it keeps remembrance. So it's an easy way to remember whenever you need to create a zecher. You're trying to make a remembrance. You're trying to create something that's going to be consistent. You're trying to create something that's going to be not just a reminder, a floating reminder, but actually a pillar of remembrance. And by doing that, you will remember your chovato, that the person is trying to mit'alem mimena, that the person tries to run away from. What was his chovato? So it's brought down the Gemara Sotah, and the Tanya opens with this idea that every neshama before it comes down, it takes a shvuah. It takes a swear. What's the swear? Tiyeh tzadik ve'al tiyeh rasha. Be a tzadik and don't be a rasha. So that's the chovah that a person took. That's the chovah that a person has in his mind that he has to do. So what causes him to forget these things? Right? To be being like the chazir. Even though he's learning, and again, we're not writing. The book is not written for those who are not learning. The book is written for those who are learning. These shurim are there for those who are learning and sitting and have an ahavat Hashem. The question is, how do we translate that ahavat Hashem into our daily ma'asim, so that we're never faced with what's called elem and shikha and chazir, but rather we should be faced with the pirsum hagadol and the zecher and the hatmada and the chazara, right, and the yeda. Those are the concepts that we want to be faced with and to be utilizing. So how do we do that? So we'll continue with Hashem. The next paragraph of the misilatyesharim in the next class. Thank you very much.